Thanks for joining us. We really appreciate you being here for our webinar on ChatGPT and DevOps. We're going to have a lot of fun talking about a subject that I don't know about you guys, but it seems to be everywhere. I don't know if you feel the same way as I do, but everybody's talking about ChatGPT. In the next half hour, Nikhil Khandelwal and I are going to be talking about this evolving innovative technology. Nikhil is the VP of Engineering at VLink, an award-winning Connecticut-based IT company. And we'll get started with Nikhil's valuable insights in just a few seconds. But first, a couple of just quick housekeeping items as more and more of you pop into the webinar. We're going to keep it to 30 minutes. We definitely want to get to all of your questions. So if you have questions, just put them in the chat. The chat is visible to me, the host, and I can let Nikhil know what the questions are. Want to make sure we get to those here at the end of the webinar. We're also going to do a couple of polls. In fact, I think we'll launch the first poll right now and let you guys vote, and we will definitely share the results live. So let me enable the poll, make sure that everybody can see it. It should be on your screen right now. If you can't see it, please let us know in the chat. But the first poll we're going to take is, how familiar are you with ChatGPT? And people, I can see people voting in real time. You've heard of it, but you're unsure. You've used it before, familiar with its capabilities, or you're an expert. And I imagine that it's going to take a while for some of us to become an expert in ChatGPT. So it looks like most people have voted. So I'm going to end the poll and share the results here. So interesting. It looks like used it before. So a lot of us have tested it out. And that's very, very interesting. So Nikhil, you know, we figured that people would have tested it out. We definitely are going to talk about ChatGPT and the benefits, challenges, and downsides of ChatGPT, but we'll be talking about it in regard to DevOps today. We'll learn more about ChatGPT and various tasks in DevOps, and we'll compare ChatGPT with traditional DevOps tools and talk about how it's integrated again and some of the challenges, and of course, where the future of ChatGPT is headed. Everybody wants to know that for sure. So Nikhil, let's get started with you. Define exactly what is ChatGPT and how does it relate to DevOps?
Hey, good morning, everyone. So, and thank you, Tracy, for having me over here. So if I go about, like, say, giving a basic definition of ChatGPT or understanding of it, like if we break this word chat and GPT as two different words, so GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer. It's an AI model that has been developed. It's a natural language model that has been developed by OpenAI and has been released to public in November 2022. And with the chat coming into picture, it chats just like another human being. It's take input as just as another human and give resolutions to a query or whatever we want in a human readable form, just like another human do.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so this is basically what ChatGPT is. And like if I talk about how it's like help in automating tasks in DevOps. So as a language model, ChatGPT can actually help in many ways. So if we talk about, let's say, the entire life cycle of a software development, so it's like building, testing, deployment, and then monitoring. Mm-hmm. So in all the four, ChatGPT is going to help. Now the question comes, how? So like I can just go to open the ChatGPT and ask it like, please please give me a script for a Jenkins pipeline for my GitHub code to S3 or let's say EC2. Over the fly, I'm going to get that. ChatGPT is going to answer me in real, probably in 30 seconds or so, or early. So similarly, if I want, let's say I want to do containerization or Dockerization of my code, I can ask again ChatGPT, okay, like this is my Node project, which we have actually done through ChatGPT for our VLink website that we have launched few time back. So we actually used it there. So like orchestration and Dockerization and actually managing like various aspect of it, like what are the configurations, what should we do, and step-by-step guide to it. and what are the tools we should use. So in monitoring and logging, Grafana, we can ask all the things. For orchestration, definitely. For infrastructure as the code, Terraform. That may sound very heavy to a new developer, and it's actually very for experienced ones also. It's a good job to do. So in all this field, including collaboration, communication, and incident management, in all this field, ChatGPT helped via giving like the answer to a query, configurations, tool to use, step-by-step guide, and best practices.
That's
All
amazing.
at once. Yeah.
You know, Nikhil, what I find interesting is as a marketing director, and if there's some marketing people in the webinar, I'm not sure, but I know that, you know, we've been use it as a cautionary tale because it's been trained on information prior to 2021, right? All the information on ChatGPT is prior to 2021. And when you use it, like to write a script, for instance, if I were going to use it, you said to write a script for Jenkins, of course, that's a coding tool, but you know, if we write a script in marketing, it might be plagiarism. Talk about that real quick. Like, how does that work when it refers to DevOps?
So if we talk about DevOps first, so like if there is a tool Jenkins, I need to use that perfectly fine. I need to configure it. This is on my requirement. So here the level of experimentation is not that much. Like there will be fixed variable, like I'll use Azure, AWS, whatever that is. And there will be a fixed set of code. My code would be like in 10 different version control system, not more than that. So like here the concept of plagiarism will not come into picture, because someone has written a code, it's not a proprietary of theirs. And ChatGPT is definitely trained for an open source. And definitely two people can definitely write the same code at the same time. So plagiarism is not something we should be very concerned about right now. But definitely when we talk about marketing and the content part, that may be very tricky right now, because it gives, like for the prompts we give to ChatGPT, it gave us the same and repetitive answers, and you don't know where this data is coming from. Probably some author has already written that and it's speaking directly from there. So then like I cannot put my name in front of it. It can be a plagiarism. Like it's a very high probability, I would say.
Absolutely. Let's talk real quickly, and then after this next question, we'll take another poll, but talk about the comparison of ChatGPT versus traditional tools, DevOps tools.
Right. So in essence, these are two different things. Traditional tools like Jenkins or DevOps tools, Terraform, CloudFront, all these things, Dockerization, are meant to support software development and deployment. Okay. So each of the tool have a very specific role to play. They have specific configuration to play with, and their output is fixed. Like if you do this, this is the output you'll get. So the automation capability, it's there. It helps in automation. DevOps tool help a lot of automation. But when it comes to ChatGPT, it's actually a chatbot, AI chatbot, I would say. So it helps us give the answers to our query, like what are the configurations, what is the code snippet we want from it in Python or some other language. So all such things we can actually have. Treat this as an AI friend to you. So it has infinite limits. So it's very flexible. Like you can do content. You can get content from here. You can do sales, marketing, develop website.
It is amazing.
Code, right, perfectly.
And I think we have a question in the chat, and please feel free to put your questions in the chat. We'd love to have Nikhil answer them. Somebody's asking, can it replace DevOps though?
No.
Okay.
It can actually automate like I imagine the future as, like if I give the configuration, all the configurations of all the tools I want to use, and in future, probably a year down the line or 3 years down the line,
We'll see.
I can give the command to, let's say, ChatGPT, please develop the code and deploy my code in S3 or a EC2 server on AWS in this region. And the entire thing is created by, like, done by ChatGPT or the GPT in essence. This is a very high probability. I see this happening.
Yeah, for sure. Well, let's take another poll. Let's launch another poll real quick. Let me get to the polls. And let's see, I want to go back here, and I'm sorry, and we'll launch this one. Hopefully you can see it on the screen here. The most important factor to accelerate DevOps performance with ChatGPT. Do you think it's automation? Is it time saving, framing, single line communication queries, simplified implementation, or cost resources savings? I'm hoping you guys can see the poll because no one is voting. So there we go. We do have some voting. So so it looks like people are voting. So go ahead and get your votes in, and then I will end the poll here in a second, and we'll share the results. So I'm going to end it as people are voting here. We have quite a few people voting, and I'm going to share the results with you so you can see them, Nikhil. So the most important factor to accelerate, according to people who are in the webinar, seems to be automation. And time saving came in second, and simplified implementation, and then cost saving a little bit above simplified implementation. Does this surprise you, Nikhil? What do you think is the most important factor to accelerate? What would you consider?
Like, definitely the first two are the answers to it.
Mm-hmm.
Automation and time saving.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, interesting. So I love hearing what the audience says about ChatGPT. It's so interesting. So Nikhil, let's talk about the challenges. I think that, you know, as a marketing director, I know that we've talked at length in the marketing department about using ChatGPT. It's fascinating. I definitely think it's just such a cool innovation. But there are challenges, because I think that we could talk about plagiarism at some level, you know, if we're using it for content and things like that in the marketing part of it. But what are the challenges in DevOps?
So, like, there's a clear warning from the ChatGPT side itself. It can give, like, harmful steps or suggestions, which you should be wary about. So, like, accuracy and reliability is actually the first and foremost thing. Like, we should use the AI tool with a pinch of salt. We should have the domain knowledge, and then we can, okay, it will make things faster, but we have to read and understand everything before implementing everything. Because, like, it can give you any configuration, or the explanation can be wrong also and justify, just like humans do. But your cost in DevOps, or like, probably it will not think like you are thinking. And eventually, there is a lot of training and data requirement. If we need to have a very mature, if let's say DevOps ChatGPT, it will take a lot of time because it needs a lot of data for that. And that requires a significant amount of effort to train this use case on. So accuracy and reliability, I would stay with that. Like, ChatGPT is an AI tool. It's in its nascent stage. It's a brilliant tool, but use it with a pinch of salt.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I always tell my colleagues. Use it with a pinch of salt, for sure. And if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. We'll definitely be answering those. You know, we definitely want to see. I mean, I think one of the, let's see, it does look like we have a question coming over right now. Is ChatGPT, how is ChatGPT transforming ways of automation testing? Talk about that real quick. That's one of the questions that's come in.
Okay, so if I talk about automation testing, so I can again, like, it's a lot of effort to write test cases or automation test cases for, let's say, a website or any other product. So I can ask ChatGPT to do this for me, like write the test cases. Like, this is the website. Probably today it may not do, but eventually in future it will definitely do. Like, this is my website, I write the test cases to test the button. Or let's say if the page is working or not, if the login is working or not. So all this automation script will be eventually written by ChatGPT.
Interesting. Okay. And, you know, there's always going to be challenges with new technology. It's new. We're going to be talking about this for a long time to come. Let's talk real quick about the future. And I know there's a couple questions in the chat. I'll get those while you're talking about the future, and then we can talk about the questions afterward. But talk about the future of ChatGPT. Where are we going from here with the chatbots and the potential impact on DevOps?
So like the first place that I see the impact of ChatGPT or this tool on the DevOps is the speed and the efficiency with the software are being developed. Like right now, if let's say today we have multiple people in our team just to do the DevOps part, for the cloud part, for the Terraform part, for the development and testing, probably in the future we'll need fewer people because they will have a ChatGPT friend with them. So they can take care of that for the normal use cases. I'm not talking about the a very complicated scenario, but for simple ones, definitely. This will help a lot to a lot of companies. So one thing more, like real-time log analysis and the feedback from ChatGPT. Like if I integrate the log system with the ChatGPT, it will analyze the errors or the logs and eventually can give me a result like this is wrong and probably alert the system like this needs to be fixed. Also, a preliminary suggestion can also come from ChatGPT. Like this is the error that is coming in the system. You can try this, or you can try these 3 things. So this can also help us like report the documentation and like what are the first steps that we can look for. And definitely like it can, ChatGPT will be better and better at writing, generating code snippet, modifying code, bug fixes. Like these are the things definitely, like converting a text line into a code. We are going to see this magic in real very soon, because Microsoft has actually launched GitHub Copilot recently. Like you write natural language line and it will convert that to a piece of code.
That's amazing. I mean, it's truly amazing. And Nikhil, we do have a question coming in. I'm reading it here. It says, how abstract and declarative is the code script that was generated by ChatGPT in your experience? One of the webinar attendees is asking that. How abstract and declarative is the code script that was generated by ChatGPT in your experience?
See, you may be a little scared about that, but it's for the use cases for the simple use cases I've used it. It was very precise.
Okay, good.
On the mark. And it explained me like, okay, do this. Like we had a redirection issue in a system in one of the product that we're doing. So I for a try phase, I asked ChatGPT, okay, how should I resolve this? Like this redirection issue. It gave me 2 options, explain each and every point, and the code snippet also.
Wow.
And it was like brilliant. I was stunned, taken aback by that.
I bet you were. I bet you were. That makes me think, oh my gosh, is it going to replace employees? I don't want it to do that. It should be complementary to employees, right? Or what's your thought on that?
See, this is rule of life. Things will develop, you like it or not. So every technology has its plus and it has minus with it. So there will be a lot of, like the nature of job in the future will change a lot. ChatGPT is like your cool friend who is extremely knowledgeable. So right now I would like to treat this ChatGPT as my cool friend who is extremely, probably a PhD from Harvard. He knows everything around the world.
Okay. Well, we have a couple other questions. Nikhil, based on your trial, what was the accuracy rate of ChatGPT analyzing your actual log files? Based on your trial, what was the accuracy rate of ChatGPT analyzing actual log files?
So right now, I would not say like I've not tested in that perspective to comment on the accuracy percent, but for some of the error logs, it is like I would not rate very high right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And why is that?
They were like fixed answers. It generally gives.
Oh, it's more general.
Yes,
Yeah.
more general answer, and it's like it looks like it has a template of answers right now, and it picks one of those and give it to you.
Interesting.
So it will take its due time to be more mature for more realistic or probably for mature answers.
Okay. And we're getting a lot of questions now, and we have about 9 minutes left. So if you have questions, just put them in the chat. Taryn's letting me know what questions we have in the background here. What are the areas of opportunities that VLink has had with ChatGPT? I think you touched on a couple, just to kind of review it again. Someone's asking that, the areas of opportunities that VLink has had with ChatGPT.
So we have actually used for content. We have used for something for the headlines, for the blogs also. We have used it for like our error analysis. We have used it for DevOps, a big part. I would not say 100%. And these are the 4 primary areas that we have used for. And right now our trial is going for like if we can get the entire code snippet, if we can write an entire product with the help of ChatGPT, is what we are trying to do.
Use what you're trying to do now. Well, stay tuned. We'll let you know in the next webinar if that happens. So,
Yeah.
So another question coming in, Nikhil, does it involve IP breach implications? Is there a possibility of presence of malware in the code suggested by ChatGPT? That's a good one, because security is probably a concern of many people.
It is a concern. So it's a rogue friend of yours. So definitely it will give you the snippet, but the security layer of it, you have to take care of it. Like you can ask ChatGPT, okay, what are some security that I should put on my server or my VM, virtual private cloud, VPC, but you need to have an expert.
Yeah.
Like, is this really right? And all my systems are secure or not? You cannot blindly trust ChatGPT.
See, people are still needed, and that's important, definitely important.
Yes, definitely. Well, good.
So, Nikhil, now that we've talked about some of the challenges, the future, and that kind of stuff, we're going to do one more poll, because polls are kind of fun. So let me go back here. I really like this one. So, now that you've kind of heard, the attendees have kind of heard about the challenges and all of that, we want to know what you see as the benefits of ChatGPT. What are the attendees seeing as the benefits of ChatGPT in your workflow? Is it improved problem solving, faster learning, improved efficiency, or it's just a cool innovation? And you can do multiple choice. So for me, I mean, I would say definitely cool innovation and improved efficiency. And I think that's the one that's leading. But I think, it's so cool. I just love this topic. I could talk about ChatGPT all the time. And we have plenty of time left for your questions. We have about 5-6 minutes left. So, and we could end early, no big deal, but let me end the poll. It seems like most people have voted. So you can see the results here on your screen. Most people say improved efficiency. And it's a cool innovation, comes in, of course, last, but improved problem solving and faster learning. Anything surprise you here? Anything at all?
Yeah, the poll result is not visible.
Okay, let me get it here.
Yeah.
I'm sharing now. Terrence let me know that she couldn't see it. Okay, so improved problem solving, faster learning, it definitely improved efficiency, and then it's a cool innovation. So what are you thinking? Does anything surprise you here in these results?
Probably I would have gone for improve efficiency as the first thing.
Yeah.
Second, faster learning.
Yeah.
Like for the Terraform, let's say if I have to do, I know the cloud and everything, but if I have to do from scratch, it will take a lot of time.
Yeah.
But it gives me the entire script and each and everything. So like the thing that I would have done probably in a month, I can do it in 2 days or 3 days max.
And see, that's where we're getting into the people part of it, right? So you might not need as many people because, like you said, the thing that you could do in a month might take you 2 days. That's
Yes.
just fascinating. So,
And problem solving in terms of improve for problem solving, yes, like most of the people are somewhere or the other are stuck in some of the like problem solving part. So we can actually like the most trickiest part of it, we can actually ask ChatGPT write a code snippet for us. That probably if I talk in the tech terms like O of n or O of 1 or a constant time, if that's a possibility. Yeah, so we can do that.
And I'm sure we're going to hear so much more about ChatGPT in the future and the other tools like the Bard and some of those others that have come on board, that have quickly come on board since ChatGPT was launched. But if you here in the webinar have not gotten on and used it yet, do it, because I think probably soon. Do you see this as becoming a paid platform, or do you think it'll still be kind of an open form free type of a tool in the future?
See, definitely they will have some part of it as open, because they have to, like, the reason they have made it open is so that they can test it from the real people. Right now, whatever input we are giving to them, that is being analyzed by their team. So the system can only be this this language model, natural language model, is trained on a huge data set. So when billions of people would be using it, then only it will improve.
Yeah. We do have another question before we go here, and we have a couple minutes left, Nikhil. Somebody wants to know about the capability of ChatGPT to integrate with IDEs and other development tools.
Okay, so like you can actually integrate. You need to have that capability, but that can be added. There are some products that are there which have the similar kind of capabilities. Let's say Google, not Google, Microsoft GitHub Copilot. In the VS Code, you can actually integrate the extension of GitHub Copilot, and you can see the magic over there.
Yeah,
Like you just say to it, okay, like Dockerize my, in the comment itself in the file, in the ID, you say, write the code to Dockerize this code. And you'll see that typing is going on.
I can see how excited you are about it. We have one last question. I think we probably only have time for one or two more. I do see one coming into the chat here. Will ChatGPT support speech to text and to speech in the future? Speech to text and text to speech in the future?
Yes, it's not future. It happens now also. The APIs are there, the GPT 3.5. So like ChatGPT is a different product of it. But if you'll go to the OpenAI website, the ChatGPT 3.5 Turbo and GPT-4, they have a lot more capability, not just the conversational one. They can convert speech to text, transform one language to another. Similarly, with the code also, they can convert they can bug fix also. They can convert a piece of paper. Let's say you have made a design, they can make a website out of it directly. So like they take input. ChatGPT only takes text as an input. But if I talk about ChatGPT, GPT-4 models, they take images, audio, video, and text. Yes, that is there.
It's crazy. These machines and the learning they can do, it's almost scary. Well, thanks, Nikhil, for being such a great panelist and sharing your insight with us. I know you've used it, and it's exciting stuff. We're on the cusp of something very exciting here. So stay tuned. We will certainly continue the discussion in the future. And thanks to Taryn for being our host behind the scenes. And thank you all for attending and taking time out of your busy day to be here with us. We'll see you the next time. And if you know of anyone who might enjoy the webinar, we will definitely be sending a recording out to all those who registered and attended. Thanks again, and go out and have a great day.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you.